Once upon a time, in a quaint little workshop on the outskirts of a bustling town, there lived a shoemaker and his wife. The shoemaker was a kind and diligent man, known for his craftsmanship and honest dealings. Yet despite his skill and effort, misfortune had steadily drained his resources. His shelves, once brimming with fine leathers and gleaming tools, now held only remnants of his former trade. At last his stock dwindled to a single piece of leather, barely enough to make one pair of shoes. One crisp winter evening, as frost crept across the window panes and the fire in the hearth burned low, the shoemaker sat at his workbench. His hands moved slowly, cutting the leather with precision born of years of practice. Though his work was steady, his heart was heavy. "This must be the finest pair of shoes I have ever made," he murmured to his wife, trying to sound hopeful. "If I can sell them, perhaps we can buy more leather." His wife, a wise and gentle soul, placed a comforting hand on his shoulder. "Have faith," she said softly. "Tomorrow is a new day. Rest now and things will become clearer in the morning." And so the shoemaker laid aside his tools and retired to bed, leaving the cut leather on his workbench. That night, as the wind howled outside and the town lay wrapped in slumber, something extraordinary happened in the little workshop. When the shoemaker rose with the first light of dawn, he entered his workshop and froze in astonishment. There on his workbench stood a pair of shoes. Not just any shoes, but the most exquisite pair he had ever seen. The leather had been worked to perfection, each stitch flawlessly aligned, the design elegant and timeless. "Wife," he called out, his voice trembling with wonder. "Come quickly." His wife hurried into the workshop, her eyes widening as she beheld the shoes. "Who could have done this?" she asked. "They are magnificent." "I do not know," the shoemaker replied, shaking his head. "But these will surely fetch a good price." Indeed, the shoes did not linger long in the shop. That very day, a wealthy merchant happened to pass by and, upon seeing the shoes, declared that he must have them. He paid a generous sum, far more than the shoemaker had dared to hope for. With the money, the shoemaker was able to buy enough leather to make 2 pairs of shoes. That evening he cut the leather for the 2 pairs and left it on the workbench, intending to finish the work in the morning. But when he entered his workshop at dawn, his jaw dropped. 2 pairs of shoes, as flawless and beautiful as the first, awaited him. "This is a miracle," he said to his wife, his voice filled with awe. "We must sell these quickly." Once again the shoes sold for a handsome price, and the shoemaker was able to buy leather for 4 pairs. Night after night the pattern repeated. He cut the leather, left it on the workbench, and in the morning the shoes were completed as if by magic. The shoemaker's reputation grew, and customers flocked to his shop, eager to purchase the exceptional footwear. Though their fortunes improved, the shoemaker and his wife could not shake their curiosity about the mysterious helpers. Who could be doing this? The wife wondered aloud. "We must find out." As Christmas approached, they decided to stay awake and hide in the workshop to uncover the truth. That evening, they lit a small candle and concealed themselves behind a cupboard, their hearts racing with anticipation. As the clock struck midnight, the room grew silent. Then soft footsteps echoed in the stillness. 2 tiny figures crept into the workshop. They were elves, no taller than a child's hand, dressed in ragged clothes that barely covered their delicate frames. Their nimble fingers moved with astonishing speed and precision as they worked. They stitched, hammered, and polished until the leather transformed into another set of magnificent shoes. The shoemaker and his wife watched in awe. "They have been helping us all along," the wife whispered. "We must find a way to thank them." The next day, as the snow blanketed the town and the air filled with the scent of pine and spices, the wife devised a plan. "Their clothes are so worn," she said. "Let us make them new outfits to keep them warm." The shoemaker agreed, and together they worked tirelessly. The wife sewed tiny shirts, pants, and coats from the finest fabrics they could find, while the shoemaker crafted little shoes to fit their dainty feet. Every stitch was made with care, every seam a testament to their gratitude. On Christmas Eve, instead of leaving leather on the workbench, they laid out the new clothes and hid once more to see what the elves would do. As midnight approached, the elves appeared as usual. But when they saw the clothes, their eyes lit up with joy. They eagerly dressed in their new outfits, twirling and admiring themselves in the dim light of the workshop. "We are free," they sang in high, tinkling voices. "No longer shall we toil in the night." The elves danced about the room, their laughter filling the air like the sweetest music. Then, with a final joyous leap, they vanished into the snowy night, never to return. Though the shoemaker and his wife were sad to see them go, they were forever grateful for the kindness of the little helpers. With the foundation the elves had given them, their business thrived, and they lived happily ever after, always remembering the magic that had transformed their lives. And so, the tale of the elves and the shoemaker endures, a timeless reminder of the power of gratitude, generosity, and unseen kindness that can light even the darkest times.